Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you could have first heard this episode 9 months ago if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that will get right on your tits.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, this is it!
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Pow, pow, pow.
I'm Sam Nifty Delaney, so what?
Welcome along. It's another Life Logistics because we did one last week and we enjoyed it because we hadn't done one for a while and we still had a few logistical issues that people had sent in that we wanted to deal with. At least I think we did. I've looked at the tweet here. Yeah, there's one or two we can do. This first one, Sam, is from... actually, before we start, you've got a logistical issue because you said that you didn't get much sleep on Saturday night because the dog now seems to be... was she howling?
She's getting up in the night. She's getting up in the night. I mean, it's good because the Cunters, the IFS, is full of dog owners, who I have to say thank you collectively, because a lot of them have been reaching out with useful advice, especially when I first got the dog. But now we're like, practically 3 months in, right? And the first sort of few weeks were hell, but we kind of just thought, oh, well. And then it all started going in the right direction, right? We went from getting up a few times in the night to take her out, to go to the toilet, to then like slowly it was less and less. She's house trained pretty much now, give or take, the odd accident.
we all have the odd accident.
We all have the odd accident, I mean, I would say she shits in the house on the floor no more than I do. So it's
once or
fair.
Twice a week probably. Yeah.
But what she started doing recently, and she's 5 months old now, and what she started recently doing is she'll wake up in the night and she'll howl. Now, listen, side note, problem in the marriage, because I have the old sleep apnea mask on, right?
You do.
And that, I know this sounds like bullshit, but that genuinely stops me from hearing, because there's a this around my face, which actually it's a white noise that I find helps me to sleep. But is
that what it's for? Is the white noise there to help you sleep?
No, I don't think it's there, but it's a bonus.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But anyway, so my wife gets up, takes the dog out, and then the dog doesn't want to go back to sleep again. So you leave the room and it goes until you go back down. So then what happens is you find yourself just thinking, oh, fuck this. I can't be going up, down, up, down. I'm just going to kip on the sofa. You grab a blanket, you fall on the sofa.
Yeah.
That's not good. It's not good to sleep on the sofa. We were doing it in the first month because you just have to sort of take it on the chin. But you need to sleep through, right? I need my fucking sleep. So yesterday, obviously I said I hadn't had any sleep. I was in a right old 2 and 8. I was feeling terrible. It makes me feel anxious. It affects me physically and mentally, a lack of sleep, right? I was very upset. Then last night, it was my wife's turn to get up. So she got up. And I got up this morning and said, how you doing? And she'd been through the exact same thing, right? So now I'm like, my life logistics question is this normal? We're thinking, is she maybe teething? Because what I'm saying is, she'd got, this is like 2 steps forwards, 3 steps back, as Paula Abdul once sung in the fucking banger Opposites Attract.
We come together because opposites attract with MC Scat Cat, which was a cartoon cat.
Fucking legend. It's sort of, I guess that makes my wife Paula Abdul and me MC Scat Cat, which I'm fine with, to be honest.
Me as well, yeah.
But yes, that's the situation we're in. I said to her, we cannot go on like this. We can't go on with one or the other of us having a bad sleep, because it'll tear us apart.
It's like, Did you raise your hands to the sky and just emote? It'll tear us apart.
It'll tear us apart because
Like that.
if one of you in a relationship, if one of you out of the two of you is always fucking knackered, it's almost worse than you both being knackered in some ways because then you get resentment. Do you know what I mean? I remember that when the kids were little, there's resentment depending on who. There becomes a competitiveness over who's the most tired. It's not a good. It's a hard time. So I don't want that
This
to come
feels a
back
lot
in.
like that. It feels like a lot like sleep training a baby.
It does.
Because baby doggy
Yeah.
has decided that she's going to wake up in the middle of the night and then it's going to be playtime for everyone.
I've got one idea, but I'll run it by you and then I'll see what the cunters think. I mean, what I'm hoping is the cunters go, yeah, this is this phase, it's normal at this stage, and she's teething, which I think she is, and that's why she's waking up.
Yeah, she would
Also,
be, yeah.
as she grows, her bladder will get bigger so she won't wake up needing a piss every night, right?
Oh, nice big bladder.
Lovely big balloon bladder. This is what I'm hoping, I'm told. But my only solution in the meantime is we were going to have a rule of no doggy upstairs, right? Now, the dog
Right, yeah.
thinks that's a fucking joke, by the way, and it's just
Stupid rule, yeah. Stairs are there to be explored.
yeah, any fucking chance she gets, she is bang up the stairs. She's had my sleep apnea mask. She's one time she shat on my daughter's bedroom floor, which was like, honestly, my daughter's only 15. I thought she was going to move out. She's the only one who didn't really want a dog in the first place, and then the dog chooses to shit on her floor. It was a disaster, but we've got past that now. So, but anyway, generally speaking, she knows she's not supposed to go up because the way she runs up, she knows it's out of order. She thinks it's funny. Do you know what I mean? She thinks, let's play that game where you chase me around, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I don't know.
Do you have a stair gate in place?
No, I didn't want to do that. So, but what we do is we shut her in the living room. No, she's in her pen. So at night she's in her pen, so she can't get up. Although one night she did actually escape from the pen, and we still don't know how. It's quite fascinating. But anyway, maybe I should just go, fuck that. It's not like she's shitting in the house anymore. Why don't we just let her sleep in her bed in our room? And then at least if she does wake up, you take her out, you take her back in, you go back to bed. Everyone's all right. I don't know.
I don't know.
Where does Oscar sleep? Where does Oscar generally sleep?
Oscar sleeps downstairs in the kitchen in his bed.
Does he ever bother you in the night?
Never
But ever?
Oscar came as he was 1 year old when I got him, so he was pre-trained.
Pre-trained.
So I never had any of that, or too much of that kind of shit going on.
What time does Oscar get up? Just when you get up?
Oscar gets up when I get up, yeah. He's
But what if you have a lie in? Does he just say,
downstairs.
oh, master's not up yet, I'll just stay here?
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, he has a lie in as well. He just lies around. He doesn't piss on the floor or anything. He waits till I get up.
He just waits.
And then I send him in the garden and he has a piss and
Fucking
he'll have a bit of a
dreamland.
bark up if the postman comes.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's the postman. He has a bit of a bark up.
He's
at
got
that.
to express himself.
Yeah, he's all right. He's good. He's a good lad. He's quite annoying, but a good lad.
Okay.
On the whole, my only suggestion would be to maybe give her money
Well,
every time she goes to sleep. I don't know, bribery.
here's a
Probably won't
£5.
work, will it?
Please go to sleep.
Put it in
Please.
an account for you for when you're older.
I remember saying that to my daughter when she was a little baby, and I was like getting used for the first time to the fucking madness of like having a baby and the nights being really disrupted. And I remember just sort of saying to her, she was tiny, she's only like a few months old, 2 months old or something, and I'm going, just plaguing her, please go to sleep. Please go to sleep, pleading with a fucking baby. That's what I was reduced to.
It slowly so that she'd understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
Like you'd
speak
speak
English all
like
that
you'd
well.
speak to a Spanish waiter.
Yes, exactly that. Yeah. I need you to sleep.
When
And
you're
then
big
mime
girl,
in the sleep.
I buy you pony. I'll buy you a fucking pony.
Don't know what a pony is yet, but I'll buy you
You'll
one.
want one for sure.
Trust
and then
me,
she
you'll
grew
want
up
one.
and she's never shown any interest in ponies. In fact, she's probably hostile to ponies. If she saw one, she'd freak out.
Yeah, it's probably like an act of rebellion from when you went too far off.
She's a bit funny about animals
baby.
generally. Ever since we, did I ever tell you about when I encountered a wild turkey in America? I know you just thought
you did.
You thought that was just the name
so.
of a whiskey, but we were driving along.
Yeah.
We were driving along in Big Sur, right? And we pulled over in a little national park. We thought, oh, this will be nice for a little stroll. And we all got out of the car. And we walked, as soon as we got there, well, there's a toilet there, let's have a quick wee before we begin our hike, our family hike. And the kids were already a bit like, oh, fucking hike. Kids hate hikes, walks, whatever you want to call them. Right. But we were like, no, it's good, fresh air, lovely scenery. Exercise. That's what we came here for. And they're like, fucking hell, you pair of cunts. Right. And I said, first urinate in that concrete bathroom over there. Right. And my daughter walks in, and then through another door, in comes this gigantic, fat fucking turkey that was just stray. It was stray. It was just roaming fucking stray in these woods. And it was like, it was a moment. All right, cunt, what's all this? Tourist, are you? Oh, I get it. Your parents making you go for a walk. Fucking nightmare. We get a lot of your sort around here. And she has screamed her fucking head off, right? Because it just confronted her. And it wasn't. A turkey's quite a frightening looking animal, if you think about it.
Of course it is.
It's got that face that's a bit like a bull bag, hasn't it?
Yeah, of course.
And
that's why we slay them and eat them.
She jumped out of her skin, and ever since then, like, she's got like a turkey phobia. And I keep saying, if we're in the countryside, which again, you know, as a city child, she's like, thinks that there's danger everywhere in the countryside. She forever thinks a fucking turkey's going to pounce out on us. I was saying, look, that was a real one-off. I mean, I don't know if our American listeners will tell us that wild turkeys are a common occurrence, but certainly not round here, they're not.
I've never seen a turkey anywhere.
No, you've seen pictures.
In the UK. Not even in captivity. I don't think I've ever seen a turkey in a zoo. Have you?
No, they don't know. There's no such thing as a turkey zoo. Not here, anyway. Again, in America, maybe. You know what we always say on this podcast? Only in America. That's actually a new section we're introducing. A turkey zoo, only in America.
It's a new episode. A new episode, Strand.
Yeah. And then Turkey, because there was Tiger King, wasn't there, that everyone got into in lockdown on Netflix?
Yeah, there was.
Hopefully they could make Turkey King next about a madman, a gun-toting madman who runs America's biggest turkey zoo.
Maybe next time we have a pandemic. So yeah, I mean, people can get in touch with you or us if they've got any tips. But I wish you the best of luck with it. It doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good at all. We've got Stephen Sheehan has been in touch on the Twitter, and he says, got the Ninja air fryer, which has changed my life. Absolutely. Now they are doing a wood fire electric barbecue.
Well, if it's electric, it's not fucking wood fire, is it? Sorry, I've lost my temper there. I've gone a bit early.
Are you okay?
No, I don't know why I snapped. It's because, you know, I've got a problem with pizza ovens.
It's the sleep thing.
Yeah, it is a bit like that. It is. Yeah. But also, it's that combined with the fact that I'm a bit triggered by the pizza oven trend.
Yeah, it's in the same wheelhouse, isn't it? Ninja wood fire electric barbecue grill. I'm just Googling it now. See what it's all about. It's called the Ninja wood fire. It's £349.99.
Right. So
get a load of you, Stephen Sheehan. Someone's doing well. It says it's an outdoor electric barbecue grill, smoker and air fryer with 7 cooking functions. Fuck me, I'm sold already. Easy to use outdoor grill, no charcoal, gas or flames. Wood fire technology. Integrated smoker box burns natural wood pellets for real smoky flavours. Grill anywhere, perfect for gardens, patios, campsites and balconies and more, with a 1.6 metre power cord. Weather resistant for year-round outdoor storage. Comes with starter pack, pellet scoop, crisper basket and chef-created recipe guide to help you master grilling.
You interested?
I'm interested in this because the whole thing about barbecuing annoys me a little bit. The whole it's kind of like a man thing, isn't it? It's kind of like harnessing nature and being the hunter gatherer and
all
cooking
that bullshit.
Outdoors.
There's a lot of guys on like YouTube and Instagram with beards and tattoos who you know are
Yeah.
actually really posh, but they're sort of
Yeah.
going for an edgy look, and a lot of it's about meat. Like there's one guy on YouTube, and he's massive, big star, and he's called like Liver Man, right? And all he does is
Fucking
like
hell.
eat like raw liver, and like
Oh, good God.
people love him. He's huge. I've not watched it, but I've heard a lot about it. I think it's like, you know, Andrew Tate adjacent. You're like 3 steps away from Andrew Tate, basically, right? And it's all about this reclaiming masculinity, and meat seems to be a big part of that for some people. So that's very weird. But then tier below is less like that, but more like if you're unfortunate enough to find yourself at a barbecue, at a get together, and people go, hi, Ange. Where's Steve? Where do you think? At the grill. You know what it's like. Oh, you can't go near his grill. Boys, boys in their toys. He's got a new pair of tongs. Oh, look, they're all gathered round the grill, arguing about how to properly do the steak and the chicken with their brewskis. Men.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
He's got his new meat thermometer.
Yeah.
Giving that a whirl.
Fucking hell, Ange.
Brought that out of the garage for the first go.
Fucking hell, Ange. You ever thought you could have done a bit better than some daft cunt whose fucking idea of being a geezer is standing over a bit of meat in a fucking back garden somewhere in suburbia, fucking talking to his mate over a fucking tepid bottle of Sol? Jesus Christ,
Do you
Angela,
ever
you're
think-
better than that.
Do you ever think you'd just be better off on your own, Ange?
Yeah.
It's all right being on your own.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to be saddled with a
What do
prick
you need
like
it?
Steve.
What do you need him for? Uncommunicative cunt. Only comes alive when there's a fucking bit of meat to be cooked outdoors. He won't cook it indoors, will he? The lazy cunt. Oh, he'll cook it outdoors. Why? Who does he fucking think he is? Grizzly Adams? He works in fucking IT, Ange.
Look, me and the other girls, we all go to Bongo's Bingo once a month for a night out. That's all you need, entertainment-wise. And dildos are really advanced now, so you don't need Steve.
You don't need Steve.
Fucking hell, Ange.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on,
but
look
this
at
looks
him.
good, though.
Yeah.
It's almost like an anti-barbecue because it works. But it's your air fryer convection fan methodology. I'm not even asked about the wood fire pellets. They're used for flavour and not fuel. It says. So, yeah. I don't know. It's got a grease tray, crisper basket, grill plate. 350 quid though. I mean, fucking hell.
Well, yeah, I mean...
How many times a year would you use this?
I mean, I would
Three.
say, not to be all liver man about it, but all these different cooking utensils you can get now, it's like, what that's going to do is cook things in a way that you already definitely have the facilities to cook them in, but it's going to do it, like, slightly quicker. Do you see what I mean? And it's going to take up a lot of space in your kitchen, and you're going to use it maybe half a dozen times a year. And you already have the facilities to grill things in a number of different ways. You could do it on your griddle pan. You could do it in the grill in your oven. You could do it on your barbecue. You know, so this would make it a little bit easier, a little bit more convenient, but you'll be paying for the novelty.
Jalapeño. Jalapeño.
I mean, that's the thing. I've got the Ninja air fryer that's got the 2 baskets, so you can do 2 things at once in it.
But that's different because you don't have the facility to fry something other than that. You can shallow fry, but that replicates deep frying, which is a specialist cooking approach.
Well, I mean, you're coming from this as a deep fry aficionado, basically.
Well,
aren't you?
I've got a deep fryer, but these days hardly anyone has, right? Because they're messy, they're a hassle, they smell, and it's really and lastly, it's really bad for you, right?
Yeah.
So that's why people don't have deep fryers. That's why there is an appeal of the Ninja air fryer, because you can still get the deliciousness and the crispiness that you could only otherwise do with a deep fryer. No one wants a deep fryer. I only got a deep fryer, as regular listeners will know, is because my son is that strange that for his 9th birthday, that's what he asked for. That's all he asked for was that. So I got it him.
Yeah.
Right. I thought he'd want a transformer, but he didn't. He wanted a deep fat fryer. At
that age, they have curious plans. I mean, my son, I think it was his 6th birthday, which was New Year's Eve. Always is New Year's Eve. He wanted to go to the ground racing at Sunderland, and it was an afternoon meet where there was just like about 7 people there
Yeah.
to spectate.
Yeah.
And it was good fun.
Yeah, brilliant. That's brilliant.
That's all he wanted. So he did it.
Yeah, it's much more interesting to have a kid who asks for a transformer, isn't it?
But the air fryer thing, I've hardly used the oven since I got the air fryer because I'll do sausages in it and do a whole chicken in it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, as a vegetarian, that doesn't appeal to you, but the oven, it only gets used now for, let's say, a pizza, which can't fit in the air fryer. I could cut the pizza up
and then
do
fucking
it
air
in the
fry
two
the cunt.
baskets in the air fryer. I might try that.
And the speed is probably much quicker than doing it in the oven too, isn't it?
But that's the thing, you haven't got to wait for the oven to heat up first.
Yeah.
And then put your thing in, you just stick it in, switch it on, and it starts.
All I
Sausage in
think
15
is that so it replicates the oven and a deep fryer, fair enough. But this wood fire thing, just feels like a novelty.
It's come to take the barbecue on, but how often do you barbecue? Especially if you live in the northeast, near the coast, where, outdoor living's not much of an option.
I'm interested to hear from any of our listeners in Australia or South Africa, which are very much the homes of barbecue.
Or Turkey.
I've heard that in Australia, and I know we've got some Aussies listening or expats who live in Australia, that what they do is because they all go to the beach to do a barbecue, don't they? But whether they're going to the beach or doing it in their backyard, what they do is they boil their meat first, because that way you haven't got to fucking worry for it, like, oh, is it cooked in all that fucking fuss that happens? Like, keep checking it, the chicken, cutting it, or is it still pink, right? Because by charring it on the outside, very often, you're not giving it the slow cook it needs to cook on the inside. The Aussies have got fucking switched on about it. They get up in the morning, right? They chuck all their sausages and chicken in a massive fucking pot of boiling water. And once it's boiled, they stick it in a tub. And then later on, they cover it in whatever they want, the marinade or what have you, and then they fucking char the shit out of it. So you still get the lovely charred barbecue flavour, but none of the risk.
You know that it's cooked.
None of the risk.
I like that. I was just going to say, I think one of these things, these would be good for when we eventually decamp to our Mediterranean podding rigs in Spain or Portugal, or maybe Cyprus. I think these would be good for a lot of outdoor cooking. Outdoor living, for at the minute, 350 quid's a big outlay.
So what does this geezer want to know from us anyway?
I don't know, I've forgotten.
Okay.
He says,
we've said every opinion we could possibly have, so you should be covered.
He says that the Ninja are doing a wood fire electric barbecue. Do I take the plunge, or are they just trying to take my money? Well, obviously they're trying to take your money. That's why they've
That's how capitalism works.
This product, which to me on the surface looks like a good investment, but I'm not sure at 350 quid. No, I'd need to see. I mean, I'm sure there's loads of YouTube videos and TikTok videos of people using these things. You could have a look at that and see if it's for you, but it seems like a lot of money for something that I don't think will get used all that much. And then you got to clean them, haven't you? You've also got to clean the grill afterwards, and you forget to do it, and then you realise that next time you want to have a barbecue, the grill hasn't been cleaned because you just left it because you got so drunk at the last barbecue you passed out on the grass. No, it's not for me. When the price point, as they say, if the price point comes down,
price point. What is the price point?
I've got a bit more than Lewis now.
I found that funny.
Don't know. Jury's out on that one. Paul Moran, who's got a Twitter handle that's full of numbers. Pity he couldn't have just thought of something. So just accepting the numbers. But he says, as a first-time potty-mouthed parent to a 1-year-old, I'd like to know how you managed to curtail your swear urges in front of your kids. If not, did it cause any problems? Paul is aged 49 years and 4 months.
Well,
Paul's gone in late there into the parenting game. He's 49 and he's got a 1-year-old.
Well, good luck to him.
Oh, someone who's 51 God. Almost. No.
I was in my early to mid 30s when I had mine, and I found it a strain.
Same. But
I'm sure. But on the other hand, one thing that he will have that I personally didn't have is emotional maturity.
That's true.
On reflection, I didn't have enough emotional maturity to cope with certain things. I mean, you know, it's just like it's a lot to take on, and I probably didn't have a handle on the sense that, well, this is life. Life's about choices. It's worthwhile. Blah blah blah. I was like, bloody hell! Why am I so tired all the time? I mean, you know, it's annoying to be tired. I mean, I've been complaining on this podcast about being tired, but I feel that I have the emotional maturity now to accept that there are bad times. You suffer them, but they pass, and you move on. Whereas I don't know. Yeah. So I'm saying, like, being an older dad would have its advantages because I'm sure he's more emotionally, mentally mature.
Yeah.
Which is a help.
It's not for me. I'm nearly 51.
No, I don't want any more kids.
Coming along at this point is ludicrous. I'm just getting ready for death. I'm just putting my affairs in order.
I'm in the death preparation phase of life.
Yeah, I'm winding down now. But getting back to his initial point, swearing in front of your kids, I found myself using the phrase "fuck's sake" a lot. That was my reaction to a lot of things, but I got quite good at doing it under my breath, just mumbling it, muttering it, or just into your hand or something like that, just away from... neither of the kids ever repeated "fuck's sake" in the same way that I would have said it.
Well,
so
I did find it a challenge to control my swearing, and my wife didn't like it and often said, you can't be swearing like this around the children. And there was a bit of to-ing and fro-ing on that.
Fuck this.
But yeah, fuck it out, I guess. Shut your fucking gob, will ya? Right? That sort of stuff. No, it wasn't that bad, but I said, listen, just because I'm fucking swearing around it, when it's a baby especially, right? They're not sentient enough to observe it. There is no way her first word is going to be fuck or cunt, right? It's just fucking no way. I was like this. If it is, I'll give you a fucking tenner, right?
Yeah.
That's how confident I am. And she said, well, that's, you know, you don't know that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, listen, I've had loads of fucking nieces and nephews. I know all about it, right? And she then reminded...
around them.
Then she reminded me that on the first family holiday she ever came away with the Delaney's, my wife, when we were like young, about 20.
Delaney's.
We went on the Delaney's went to County Cork for Christmas, for New Year, and it was, do you know what year it was? It was Euro 96.
Euro 96.
And there was a lot of shenanigans, and at the time there were two children. I had one of my brothers had children very young, and she said that we were in a pub in a fishing village in County Cork, and it was our third day of just incessant Guinness and Jameson's drinking, and we were all tucking into our fish soup that they give you out there, delicious West Island fish soup. And she said that my angelic little niece, who is now, I think she's 30 now, just walked over in the middle of us all and said the word cunt in a lovely angelic voice. And I said, cunt? Yeah, she was like this, cunt? And she went, I was very shocked. And I said, I'm sure you were. And she went, and that was because she'd spent a week with you and your brothers all just calling each other cunts non-stop. And in the end, that's going to have an impact. And so that sobered me. And from that point on, I toned the whole thing down. And especially with the worst words, especially with fucking cunt and motherfucker. Those sorts of ones are the ones that I try to eradicate when she reminded me of that.
Yeah. Yeah, as I say, I would kind of mask mine under my breath, mumbling, that kind of thing. But
my kids don't swear. My kids don't swear at all. They're not interested, and I know their mates do because I've heard them. But they're just like, I don't know. I think they kind of see me as an anti-role model. They think I'm foul-mouthed, and they think it's pathetic and immature, which is correct.
Don't want to be like you at all.
That's it. I think sometimes their whole thing is don't be like him. And I'm like, fine, be like your mum. It's a much better idea. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I once said to me daughter, I'd praised my daughter for being a good kid. And I said, and I think it's because I've raised you so well.
Yeah.
And she said, actually, I get most of my influences from Instagram. So that was me put back in my place. But my son's 15 now, and he swears like a trooper.
Oh, does he? Does he like it?
Well, he loves it.
Yeah,
he loves
good luck
it.
to him.
And I find it quite amusing. Because he's 15. You know, he's going to be 16 in a few months. He can join the army and all that.
Yeah.
I think when he's 16.
Why shouldn't he have a nice swear up if that's what makes him happy?
Yeah, we played darts together, and if I beat him, he calls me a cunt. It's great. It's good fun.
Sensational. Yeah, that sounds lovely, mate. It's a bonding experience.
Again? Of course it is. What was the question again? What was how you manage to curtail your swear urges in front of your kids? So it's just self-control. That's basically all it is. You just got to you just got to control yourself, and just it's willpower, I guess. If you want to stop swearing, stop swearing. Not the hardest thing in the world to do, is it? Finally, I'm going to show you a little video, Sam, from Chris Grindle, and he says, should you make a dog who doesn't want to go for a walk, go for a walk?
All right, yeah, I see it. Oh, it's absolutely gutted. What's that? Is it a Jack Russell?
Bed, the lead's on. He's been dragged along in the bed. And then out of the bed, and there's a little waddle towards the door. I don't know the name of the dog, or if it's a boy dog or a girl dog. But
well, it's an interesting one. Yeah, they're having to drag the dog effectively out of its bed by the leads to come out for a walk, and it won't get out of its bed, so the bed ends up coming with it, and it's sort of sliding across the floor towards the front door.
Sliding around the streets in its bed.
And I just, I think this is a good question. I'm not experienced enough, but I have faces. What I've got is I've managed to get Cookie out the door for her morning walk. I've just been on it this morning, no problem. Really like the morning walk. Evening walk, neither of us like as much, me or the dog, right? But you do it. It'll be nicer once it's springtime. But, it's supposed to be spring now, but you know what I mean, when it's a bit warmer and brighter. And some nights I've got her out and I've just got her around the corner and she just basically is like, nah. And I know that you told me this before about Oscar. It's quite a common thing with him. In the morning, she's full of it. She doesn't want to go home. She's running around everything. But in the evening, sometimes, not every time, she's like, I'm not feeling it, mate. And
same with Oscar.
And it's just, and in the end, you just have to take her home again.
Same with Oscar. I mean, he's only little. We're generally down to one walk a day now. And sometimes it's not until the evening. And if it's the evening, and particularly if it's wet,
he doesn't like the rain.
We'll get around the corner from the house and
he's like, fuck it out, you're joking.
I'm not feeling it. I don't want to do this. I know that you don't want to do this, you fat bastard.
We're not getting anything out of this.
Let's pretend it didn't happen. Let's just go home, put the telly on.
I had a story once about a dad who was like that, and he was always away, like this bloke. His dad was always away, and he was like a successful sort of filmmaker, and he was never about, and he'd occasionally come back between working abroad, and the mum would always be on about him, like, you know, you're hardly seeing your son, you've got to fucking do stuff with him when you're back. And the bloke was like, well, what do you mean? I see him. He goes, yeah, but you got to do stuff, like you've got to bond. And he goes, fucking hell. He goes, take him out somewhere, do something with him. So he says he's got this is the son, told me, he's got this vivid memory of his dad sort of half-heartedly saying, come on then, we'll go down the swings. And they got down the swings and he put him in a swing and he pushed him for about 60 seconds. And then he stopped and said to him, look, mate, let's be honest, I don't think either of us are getting much out of this. Let's just go home. And that was the beginning and the end of it. Quite heartbreaking, isn't it?
Oh man, that's awful, but also funny. So yeah, but I mean, that's not a dog, that's a human. So it's different parameters altogether. But I don't know what you do with your dog if it doesn't want to go for a walk. Once you're out, if it doesn't want to do it, then that's fine. We just call it quits. But if you can't get out the house in the first place, don't know, what do you do?
What do you do?
Sometimes we don't have an answer. That's the beauty of life logistics.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't care enough to give an answer. But
our answer to this one is we don't care. No, it's not. Yeah, I think sometimes it depends on the age of the dog. If it's an older dog, I would say if it doesn't want to go out, let it just do what it's got to do. If it's a younger dog, you've got to help it grow. You've got to get it into good habits. And so sometimes you just have to make a bit of effort to get it out when it doesn't want to be out.
I mean, you know your dog better than we do. Maybe your dog's starting to have problems with joints and things like that. It's getting old.
Yeah.
You know, arthritis is starting to kick in. I don't know. If it's a worry, consult your vet. Aye. There we are. That's the Life Logistics for now. We'll be doing some more of these at some point in the future. Hope we've helped in some way. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.